Today we're looking at the best states to move to when you leave Illinois. We looked at the top 5 states where people move to after they bail on Illinois, and we researched the best things about living in those 5 states. Make sure to stick around for all 5 of them, because if you're seriously considering leaving Illinois, you'll want to know what makes your potential next home state really awesome. Now, we looked at data from the US Census Bureau to figure out where the most people are moving to when they leave Illinois, and that's how we found the top 5 states. So before we get into it, I want to thank you all for stopping by the channel. My name is John Sintich. If you're new to the channel, I make content just like this each and every week about all things related to living in the Chicagoland area. If you need help making a move to or out of the Chicagoland area, my team and I would be honored to help you. I am a licensed realtor in the state of Illinois, so if you need any help with that whatsoever, shoot me a call, text, email. All my contact information is going to be on the screen, as well as down below in the description of the video. All right, let's get into it. So it's no secret that a lot of people are actually moving out of Illinois. According to US Census data from the last several years, Illinois is the second most exited state in the country. So where are people going? Well, one of those states is California. Over 24,000 people left Illinois and moved to California in 2022, and they certainly didn't move to California for better home prices. California's average home value is about $750,000. Prices are so high there that only about 16% of their population in California can actually afford to own a home. So if it's not the affordability of home ownership, what is driving people to move to California? Well, while it's relatively expensive to live in California, the average annual salaries are actually much higher in California than Illinois and the rest of the country, especially if you get around those tech hubs in California like San Gabriel, Sunnyvale, and Palo Alto. In these areas, average salaries exceed into the 6-figure mark and way above that, which is much higher than national averages. Another massive reason people move to California is the climate. California has a wide range of climate zones, ranging from Mediterranean along the coast to desert in the interior and alpine up in the mountains. You can literally surf and snowboard in the same day in California. Now, most of the coastal areas of California experience a Mediterranean climate with dry summers and mild, wet winters. Now, another reason people love California is the multicultural population. Cali is one of the most ethnically and culturally diverse areas in the entire country. You'll note this if you've been to California in its culinary scene, which offers up cuisines from nearly every corner of the globe. Not to mention the artistic hub that exists in California. It hosts artists from tons of diverse backgrounds, which influences music, art, theater, cinema. This is where you go in America other than New York City for anything art related. And it's why over 24,000 people fled Illinois for California in 2022. Now, what other states are people moving to from Illinois? Well, the next highest in terms of migration patterns is going to be Texas. Basically the exact same state as California. We could probably just skip this one because they're so similar. There's really nothing different to describe about Texas. So we're good, right? Okay, in all seriousness, Texas has one of the highest population growth rates in the entire country, and many of those moving to Texas are from Illinois, 25,272 to be exact. And that was just in 2022. And one of the major pros of moving to Texas is there's no state income tax. Look at your next pay stub or your tax return from last year, and just look at how much is going in taxes to the state of Illinois. Now imagine if that number just said 0, and the number it actually says was in your bank account or some kind of growth fund or something. It was in your pocket. That's how it is when you live in Texas. Another pro of living in Texas is that housing is much more affordable. The average home price in Texas right now is around $300K, which is somewhat similar to Illinois, but it's less than half of what it costs to live in California. Again, not much different than Illinois, but the difference is going to be noticed in the property tax bill. Your property taxes in Texas are going to be anywhere from like 30 to 50% less than you're paying in Illinois, and that's just going to put more dough in your pocket at the end of the day. Another pro about living in Texas is the economic opportunity that exists there. Texas has a booming economy with strong job markets in tech, energy, healthcare, and manufacturing. If you look at Austin, Texas, the population has increased over 40% in the last 10 years. You can see things like Elon Musk bringing the Tesla headquarters to Austin, Texas. A lot of companies are moving their business headquarters to Texas because of the opportunities that exist there. There's a lot going on in Texas, guys, and that's why over 25,000 people from Illinois moved there in 2022. The next highest state of population exodus from Illinois is going to be Wisconsin. 27,369 Illinoisans moved there in 2022. Why would one want to turn in their Chicago Bears jersey for an ugly, disgusting, yellow Green Bay Packers helmet? I mean, really, it's a tortured existence to be a Packers fan. I mean, all you've had is 2 Hall of Fame quarterbacks starting for the last 30 years there, and the makings of another elite quarterback coming up to take the reins over there. All right, my sarcasm and my football fanaticism is shining through a little bit too much here, so let's get back to why people actually moved there. Other than watching meaningful NFL football games on Sundays, a major pro of living in Wisconsin is going to be the cost of living. It's much lower there. Property taxes are going to be on average about 30% less than what they are here in Illinois. The average home price in Wisconsin is $295,000, but overall cost of living, according to betterplaces.net, the cost of living in Wisconsin is lower than the national average. Another huge draw to Wisconsin is the access to natural beauty and outdoor activities. Wisconsin's got a ton of gorgeous natural landscapes, specifically lakes, and I can give you an anecdote about that. It's not a stat or a statistic or a fact, just an anecdote I can share. As a kid growing up in Chicago, you escape to Wisconsin on the weekends for a vacation where you don't have to get on an airplane. You know, if you grew up middle class like me, you can't just travel on airplanes all the time. If you want to take a vacation, you got to drive somewhere. So Wisconsin was definitely a frequent destination for my family because of the outdoor activities, the lakes. I mean, there's over 15,000 lakes in Wisconsin, which is about 5 times more lakes than there are here in Illinois. So definitely a great spot to go. Fishing, boating, snowmobiling in the winter, skiing, snowboarding, all that stuff. There's a lot of it available in Wisconsin. All right, the next state and the second highest state of migration from Illinois is going to be Indiana. That's right, the Hoosier State. Now, what's the main draw of living in Indiana? Well, if you haven't already guessed it, it's going to be the affordable cost of living. Indiana is well known, especially here in the Chicago suburbs, for its affordability, particularly in housing. We're seeing a lot of people leave Illinois to purchase homes in Indiana because it's just cheaper to live there. The cost of living in many parts of the state is significantly lower than the national average, and it's significantly lower than Illinois. It makes it more accessible for home ownership and just saving money. Now, it is centrally located, which makes it convenient for traveling to major cities in the region like Chicago, Detroit, Cincinnati, Louisville, and Nashville. Lots of folks tend to do business in these states and then live in Indiana to take advantage of the savings, lower cost of living, but take advantage of the economic career opportunities that exist in these major metropolitan areas in the Midwest. Another anecdote that I have to share with you about this is growing up living in Chicago, I knew several families, including members of my own family, that worked in Chicago but commuted back home every night to Valparaiso, Indiana, which some consider to be a Chicago suburb. I mean, I don't, but some people who live there consider it a suburb of Chicago. It's kind of a hike, but that's what they preferred to do. They enjoy the options of the affordable living there. They could get much more bang for their buck, so to speak, as far as how much they could spend on a home for the amount of home they would get, lower taxes, and then they would just take advantage of their job career opportunities in Chicago. And obviously they weren't alone in that sentiment because over 31,000 people moved to Indiana from Illinois in 2022. All right, if you made it this far, we're going to get to the #1 state that people left Illinois for. Thanks for sticking around so long. I appreciate your interest in the video. If you found any value from this video or enjoyed any portion of it, please do me a huge favor. Hit the like button, subscribe to my channel. I'd really appreciate it. Okay, let's get to the #1 state that people left Illinois for in 2022. It's gonna be the Sunshine State. That's right, the state of Florida. 35,262 residents moved from Illinois to Florida in 2022. And I think the first major pro of Florida, and an obvious one, it's gonna be the warm climate that Florida's famous for other than the Gators. Florida has warm, sunny weather year-round. And this just makes it ideal for people who prefer a tropical climate and being outdoors all year round. It also has incredible beaches and natural beauty. Some of the most beautiful beaches I've been on have been on the Gulf side and the Atlantic side. And it's also home to some great natural attractions like the Florida Everglades and the Florida Keys. Don't forget about Disney World and Universal Studios. Another major pro of Florida is that there's no state income tax, which can help you considerably when it comes to saving money, especially if you're in a higher income bracket. It's no surprise that Florida is the #1 state in the United States of America for people to retire. All right, guys, that's gonna do it for the top 5 states people left Illinois for and why. I hope you found some value in this video. If you need any help relocating to these states or any state in general, or if you just need help relocating within Illinois, I would love to be that resource for you. Again, I am a licensed realtor in the state of Illinois. My team and I would absolutely love to help you. All my contact information is gonna be on the screen or below in the description of this video. Thanks again for watching, guys. I'll see you on the next one.